Well, thanks for joining me here on my presentation. Today I am picking part five for my presentation. It is surviving in the workplace. I currently work at Pizza Hut in Tipton, Indiana, and I thought this was a great way and connected with me the most because I'm graduating Saturday and I've had experience in the workplace, and I thought it was a very interesting chapter on how to basically cope with work and personal life and see how you can balance that. So let's get started. So I did the first slide is the importance of work life balance. So basically, the benefits of this is greater control over your work and personal life, focus more on you, loyalty and commitment, better self view, and better relations with management. Um, Basically, anything you would think would be positive basically is in the benefits. And it basically focuses on you as a person, whether that be through growth, whether that be through self esteem, whether that be, commitment to the company and the people you work with. But burnout is also discussed in this part, and it is basically same work with little variation. Giving but not receiving back. Basically, you're giving it all, your all, and basically, just they're not recognizing you. They're not, um, seeing you as a positive worker, and they're just not giving anything back while you're giving it your all. Uh, Lack of sense at work. Basically, you basically show up, you do your job, but every time you're there, you just feel isolated. You don't feel you mean much. Basically, you're there for 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours, and basically, you're just not feeling it. Difficult people. I have personal experience with this since I work in customer service, especially fast food, in customer service, giving pizzas, whether that be delivering or through the front counter. My coworkers, I've been at my job for over 6 years now. Hopefully not for very much longer, obviously, since I'm graduating this Saturday. So we'll see how that goes. Basically, anything to do with that. And lack of trust with higher ups. I have personal experience with this. Basically, in the fact of, you know, uh, I don't trust my management to basically follow through on other people, like whether that be through our freezer pool, whether that be through our trash, whether that be cleanup. It seems to be detailed to certain people, and other people basically get by. So lack of trust is big, and those are some of the things about work-life balance, and basically making sure that work is important, but you need that personal space. You need that personal life. You need to have relationships outside of work, the time to relax, etc. So the next one also is personalities and knowing yourself. Priorities in life. Uh, these are some of mine. Basically, knowing what you value in your life, knowing what you want to accomplish, what you want your life to be. So some of mine are, find a wife slash girlfriend, not necessarily looking now, but later on, and that be a priority. A fresh start. I'm graduating college, like I said, this Saturday, so I want to basically get in there and, start my post higher ed education career and basically get my foot through the door. I've been interviewing for a few people. It hasn't worked out as much uh, because I just haven't found the right job yet. Uh, Another one, build a healthy relationship with family and others. I think that's just common sense. You don't want to be hated by people. You want to, feel welcome. You want to feel loved. You want that, that connection with people. The type of personalities the chapter or part talked about. One is type A, which is more competitive, driven, and a workaholic. Not me. I've seen a lot of people like this. Type B is basically laid back, easygoing, a procrastinator, which is basically me. I try to be the relaxed one, laid back. Not really, it's easy for me to relax and just go with the flow. Not always, but most of the time. And then personality AB is a mix, basically saying, you might be competitive, but you're also procrastinating. I also think I fall on that one too because I know I'm competitive, so I might go into that. But like workaholic and driven / ambitious, I don't really categorize myself in those. So that's why I'd say I'd be an A and B mix. Um, let's get this back on. Let's get it back on track. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, we'll have to do it through this. Okay, so the next slide that was covered in the part was stress, and I basically focused on the triggers of stress. I've had a lot of stress in my last couple of years. Not like mental breakdowns or anything like that, but I've had a lot of stress due to whether that be through my work, whether that be through my personal life, whether that be through BSU. Stress in different ways. I did a couple triggers. One of those was conflict. Another one was load, and negativity. Negativity, obviously, you need some positivity in your life. You need some optimism. Constant negativity, basically, about specifically on yourself, can be a drag and can lead to stress. Overload, basically, you have so much work, you don't feel like you have enough time to do it, you can't do it, etc. And conflict, whether that be through management, your personal life, etc. And the last one I want to cover is bullying in the workplace. And they lay out a few categories of what could be categorized as bullying in the workplace. Because one of the reasons why I picked this one was because of I've somewhat experienced it in the workplace due to my management currently, and the fact of he specializes people over me and just is not necessarily the most welcoming to me. And yeah, one of them is calling out basically everyone else, but you is basically go with the flow, friendships and all that, but they'll call out you specifically, even if it's not you that did anything, which goes into scapegoats. Basically, if something's wrong, automatically we're going to go into Dylan, or whatever. Harassment, basically, that could include sexual harassment, verbal harassment, etc. Overload again. Basically giving you too much work, basically designated to you, not other people, when other people could be doing it as well. Targeting, basically targeting you out of anybody else. It kind of goes with calling out. Failing to give credit. I've dealt with this because, I'm one of the few that actually does everything at my job, and I don't get credit that much. So, yeah, failing to give credit is one of them. Physicality, luckily I've never experienced this in the workplace, but basically being physical with someone when, obviously it's unwarranted and can lead to, problems down the road. This was a big part for me in the fact of, I can relate to it. actually want a work-life balance when I get out of college, and I'm one of those people that wants to do the 40 hours a week, 9 to 5, get off on weekends. I'm not. I want to have a successful professional career, but my personal life goes above all else. So I really like this chapter and getting into the nitty gritty into how to keep a work life balance, what it means to people, how you can do this, etc. I've always been someone that's into knowing yourself, loving yourself, especially in the past like couple years, because I used to not be one of those people in the fact of I really didn't want to be me, but now I love myself, so it doesn't matter to me, and I encourage other people that necessarily haven't found loving themselves yet to find means to do so. Stress, obviously, everybody else deals with stress, and bullying. It's a uncomfortable thing to talk about. It's an unfortunate thing to talk about, but it does happen in the workplace. Now, I'm not saying I'm getting bullied in the workplace, just to make sure. I'm just saying some of these things could be considered that for me and others. So I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation. I hope all of you either enjoy graduation on Saturday or have a great rest of your BSU career. Thanks, guys.